All right, the time is 4 p.m. I will call the Plan Commission meeting to order in person and via Zoom. Uh, Today, the 23rd of June. Second item is roll call. Can the roll, please?
Chairperson Manager Hausman,
Here.
Council Representative Huckabee,
Here.
Commissioner Shull, here. Commissioner Ciccarelli,
Here.
Commissioner Schultz,
Here.
Director of Public Works Sneven.
Here.
All right, thank you. Under new business 3A, we have review and possible action relating to the minutes of the June 9th, 2026 Plan Commission meeting.
I move to approve the meeting minutes as written.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this matter? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. So the next two items on the agenda are the public hearings for the TIDs, and I think I will go ahead and make a short presentation. We have Jennifer on the call with Baird, our financial advisors. I'll let her supplement any information that I kind of miss on this. I can drive that. Thank you. Okay, so as most of us are familiar with tax increment district, this is the chart that shows how it works basically from the Department of Revenue TIF manual, which was included in the packet tonight as a reference for reference material. So you can see when the TID is created, we have a base value, and all four of those taxing jurisdictions continue to receive property tax revenue based on the base value in the TID. When the TID is created, all of the additional value, added value, or increment over the life of the TID goes into the TID to pay for improvements that are included in the project plans that are on the agenda tonight to review. And then at the end, when the TID is terminated, that all of that value goes back on the general tax roll and then goes proportionally to the four taxing jurisdictions as in their percentage or their proportion. So it's not exactly this. This looks like it's equal, a quarter, a quarter, a quarter. We all know that's not exactly how that works. But anyway, this is for illustrative purposes. So the first, there's two public hearings tonight. I'll just go through the entire presentation and then we will open the public hearing. We'll hear from those present or anybody else who wants to speak on the matter. And then we will close those. We'll have two separate public hearings, one for the amendment to TID 9 and one for TID 11. We'll close those public hearings and then move on to discussion amongst the Plan Commission and possible action. So I will start with TID number 9, amendment number 1. The Plan Commission packet is on the city's website. The project plan is also on the website in a different location and in the city manager's office for review. We did a class 1 notice in the newspaper on the 9th of June, and we sent notice to the taxing jurisdictions. We did have a joint review board meeting yesterday with representatives from each of the taxing jurisdictions. The Plan Commission public hearing is tonight, and the City Council will review the matter on the 7th of July. And if all goes well, then the joint review board would look at it again on the 27th of July for final approval. So TID 9 is a mixed-use TID that was created in 2022. The final year for expenditures is 2037 with closure, expected in 2043. The territory amendment number 1 is what we are proposing. This is the addition of the Kashkonot Estates subdivision with the goal of providing a financing mechanism for any public infrastructure improvements or infrastructure removal if necessary in the amended area. So the project locations are included on this map, and these are the proposed locations. It starts with 16 here because that is in addition to the other projects that were proposed and approved with the original project plan back in 2022. So we have platting, surveying, planning, and consulting services, public infrastructure improvements, possible city land purchases, regional stormwater improvements, pedestrian and bicycle connection improvements, and entryway signage improvements. So the cash flow pro forma is included in the packet in the project plan. So the packet page number is 31. If you want to review that cash flow pro forma. The overall TID anticipates about $45 million in construction increment over the life of the TID. The pro forma includes $2.5 million in new debt service for public infrastructure improvements in the territory amendment area. It also shows all the expenditures recovered in 2041. This map shows the 1/2 mile radius with possible, it is possible through statutes to make public improvements within 1/2 mile of the TID within the city limits. So I think maybe that will be important to talk about when we talk more about this. 1/2 mile of the border of the TID, but within the city limits. So TID 11, we're looking at the creation of TID 11. Again, the project plan is in the Planning Commission packet as well as on the website and in the city manager's office for review. The creation of a new tax increment district requires a Class 2 notice in the newspaper. So that was in the newspaper. We sent it on 6/2. It was published on 6/9 and 6/16. On 6/2, we sent the notice to the other taxing jurisdictions. We had that joint review board meeting last night, Plan Commission tonight, and following the same schedule as the amendment to TID 9. So TID number 11 is proposed to be a mixed-use TID. It includes the formerly TID 6 land, so that was the Clement Business Park. We also extended it west and north to support development and possible additional public improvements. So if this TID is created in 2026, the expenditure period will be available until 2041, with anticipated closure in 2046. So we do have a proposed multifamily project on the west side of Janesville Avenue that would benefit from the creation of this tax increment district. This is the existing uses and conditions map for TID 11. The reason I put this in the presentation is because I realized that the project plan had two of the map that we already saw and didn't have this one. So that has been corrected and reposted on the website, but it was not in the packet, in the Plan Commission packet. So I just wanted to point out that this existing conditions and uses map for proposed TID 11. And then the project amendments, project locations, I should say, that those projects include the Janesville Avenue corridor improvements. If you recall, the city engaged in 24 and 25 with the public in a very robust process to review Janesville Avenue corridor potential improvements. So this TID, if this TID number 11 is successful, we would be able to engage in some of those improvements. It also includes water and sanitary sewer extensions, Janesville Avenue road improvements, intersection improvements and safety improvements, possible city land purchases, trail and park improvements, entryway signage, stormwater improvements, road and utility installation, direct developer incentives, planning, financing and interest, as well as administrative and organization fees. The cash flow pro forma is on page 110 of the packet. We anticipate about $90 million in construction increment over the life of the TID, with expenditures expected to be recovered in 2047. This is the 1/2 mile radius, so you can see it goes north to incorporate Janesville Avenue, as well as some potential stormwater improvements. So next steps, we did have the joint review board meeting yesterday with the members of all of representatives from all of the taxing jurisdictions. Those folks were generally supportive, but they did not have action. Their only action on for the meeting last night was to set the next meeting date. We'll have the public hearing at the Plan Commission meeting tonight. And the Plan Commission may take action to recommend that the City Council approve the TID 9 Amendment number 1 and TID 11 creation. So then on the 7th, we will have City Council review and then that additional Joint Review Board meeting. So the recommended action for the Plan Commission tonight after the public hearings would be to adopt those resolutions recommending the amendment number 1 to TID number 9 and the creation of TID number 11 to the City Council. With that, I would ask Jennifer if there's anything I missed there that needs to be covered on the before we open the public hearing.
No, I think Rebecca did a great job of laying out for both 9 and 11, and I do have nothing to add.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for all of your work in assisting in drafting those project plans, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
Okay, with that, I will open the public hearing. I don't believe we had a sign-up sheet, so I would just ask that anybody wishing to speak states their name and address at the podium before they speak. So with that, I will open the public hearing relating to proposed amendment number 1 to tax increment district number 9 at this time.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Vigaski. I live at 1681 Isla Street, which is in the Koshkonong Estates addition that is proposed to be added to this TID number 9. I bring forth a couple of concerns, first of which is that there's this 11-year timeline in which things can be done, but no specific timeline to help the residents of Koshkonong Estates make any plans for how any development will be done, so that we can come up with any ideas of whether we want to continue to stay there, continue to do development in our properties. Next, what is listed in the TID does not do anything necessarily to support the people who already live there and are dealing with the water issues. It looks at potential development of new properties. It looks at repairing the roads, but it doesn't help the fact that there is an encroaching wetland that's over an acre in size, and that the water has breached the surface and continues to breach the surface. And then finally, I will request that Commissioner Schultz recuse himself from any decisions, as he does have a financial interest in this project, as he is a property owner in Koshkonong Estates. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else wishing to speak at the public hearing for TID number 9, amendment number 1? Second call for public hearing. Third and final call for the public hearing for TID number 9, amendment number 1. Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing and we will move on to a public hearing relating to the creation of tax incremental district number 11. We'll open the public hearing.
All the way down here.
Might as well.
My name is Todd Wilkham. I own 2 properties in the proposed TID, one in the business park and one, actually both in the business park. I was fortunate enough to learn about this meeting a mere 22 minutes ago. I'm fully supportive of this. I think it's well needed. It will help in not only the development of the area, but it'll help developers such as myself kind of continue to grow that side of town, which, as we all know, is in need of more assistance. So with that, I would say I'm fully supportive of this TID.
Thank you. Anybody else wishing to speak relating to the creation of TID number 11? Okay, second call. Third and final call. Okay, I'll close that public hearing. I left the PowerPoint up just in case people want to look at maps again, but at this point, we would move on to 3D. It's review and possible action relating to a resolution recommending adoption of the project plan territory additional amendment number 1 and boundaries for tax incremental district number 9 in the city of Fort Atkinson, Jefferson County, Wisconsin. Are there questions or discussion amongst the Plan Commission members relating to TID number 9, amendment number 1?
I just have a clarifying question and this kind of addresses Chris's question. The process is we have to get the TID in place first and then planning can start. Is there a broad plan yet for TID 9 as far as timing on the infrastructure?
There's not at this time. I mean, I would be very hesitant to try to establish a timeline at this point. I think the first thing that, if this TID is approved, the first thing that we would look at is platting, is replatting, and then the design of the infrastructure, and then it would be the construction of the infrastructure.
Okay.
So I wouldn't, but I wouldn't feel comfortable guaranteeing a timeline on that.
Okay. My other question is the city purchase of land that's in both TIDs. Is that pretty common to leave room in TID since they're over such a long period of time? Is
Yeah.
that a standard addition?
Yes, that is in all of our TID project plans, and we put that in the project plan just to cover ourselves in case there is an opportunity for additional land to be purchased by the city. I think these two TIDs are relatively unique because the city is a landowner in both TIDs. But we do put that in the project plan in all of the project plans that I've been a part of creating, just in case there is a situation where the city would want to purchase land.
Okay, but there's not a formal plan yet with either TID?
Nope.
Because the first step is the TID approval.
Right.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I will say along with, when we have these projects, they are described more than just this project name. They're described a little bit more in the project plan. However, the intention is to keep them relatively flexible so that in 3 years or in 10 years for the new TID, if there is a project that presents itself or an opportunity that presents itself within the TID, we want to have the flexibility built into the project plan so that we can address the opportunities as they present themselves versus having to come back to the Joint Review Board and the Plan Commission and the City Council to amend the TID because that takes a bit of time. And if the project is time sensitive, we want to be sure that we can capture that growth at the time.
Okay,
So they're intentionally a bit vague.
thank you.
We'll say
Yeah,
that.
I would just like to,
Oh, go ahead.
yep. Obviously I do want to state on the record, I do own a home on, within the subdivision that would be included in the proposed amendment to TID number 9, on Ramesh Avenue. However, I'm not a developer. I don't have any ownership interest in the development beyond my personal residence. And I would not receive any unique benefit beyond those that would be shared by other homeowners in the area or community. Any future improvements associated with the TID amendment are not guaranteed, and would be subject to future decisions, like from a council, which I am no longer on. And I believe that I can evaluate this matter fairly and objectively, and I'll vote based on what I believe is in the best interest of the community.
Thank you, Commissioner Schultz. Additional discussion by the Plan Commission on this matter.
I'm relatively new to Fort Atkinson. I've been here about 2.5 years, and I'm a homeowner. And so I'm only partly up to speed on the history of Koshkonong Estates. And I imagine the city's done a lot of thinking about how it came to be, how it is. My specific question is, has any option generation or advanced planning been done since the first problems were recognized um, for the kinds of infrastructure actions that might occur? Um, I know that the TID amendment is tonight, but it seems to me that the Public Works might have given it some thoughts. I was just curious.
We have several wetland studies, and we spent a fair amount of the city spent a fair amount of money over the last year and a half or so getting this area studied to ascertain if there are developable parcels and if changing the configuration of the roadways and or improving using engineering methods to improve the roadways to deal with some of the water would be a feasible path forward. So we do have that report under our belt, so to speak. And then the next phase, I would think of this, if the TID is approved, would be to study that further and continue on the platting and planning process.
If this was just a land addition to the TID without that overarching issue of concern for residents, my personal interest would be, oh, let's connect Rock River Park to more things. Oh, let's get kids to be able to walk and bike to the high school and the possible middle school. But I think that as a fellow homeowner, I would like to see priority placed on addressing options for Koshkonong Estates. Point one. Point two, could you bring up the aerial of the TID Plus edition on 9? There you go. There's a little sliver of non-city property owned by actually a Jefferson Street neighbor of mine that is a sort of a peninsula up along the right side of the purple, sort of notched into Rock River Park. I know that the TID is all about city lands, and half mile radius doesn't reflect non-city lands, nor in general should it. But I'm curious whether that might be part of planning going forward. It seems to me that if something good can be done with Koshkonong Estates, that's a nice interface between Rock River Park, the center of Rock River Park, and Koshkonong Estates and points north and northwest. So that's a curiosity question, really.
Sure. I think if that land ever comes into the city, it would then be eligible for this 1/2 mile radius improvement.
And would that have to be a special action to amend the TIF further, the TID further, based on the change in city boundary at that point? Just curious.
I think, Jennifer, I will ask, we'll see if you can answer that question. Would we have to, if that parcel, I don't know if you can see the cursor, if that small bit of land is annexed into the city, would it automatically be part of the 1/2 mile?
I would think so, but we probably have to check. There might be a time frame and so forth, but I think it could be because it would be within, as we said, the 1/2 mile radius. So, but definitely something we could check if came to it.
Thank you. I just, if hypothetically that was part of the city, it would open up connectivity options for bike and walk, for example, to the vast bulk of Rock River Park in a way that's constrained right now by having to go up and over to Trailways Park. And that's all I'll say about that.
Thank you. Additional discussion by the Plan Commission. Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion to adopt the resolution recommending adoption of the project plan territory additional amendment number 1 and boundaries for the tax incremental district number 9 in the city of Fort Atkinson?
So move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is review and possible action relating to a resolution recommending adoption of the project plan and boundaries for tax incremental district number 11 in the city of Fort Atkinson, Jefferson County, Wisconsin. Any questions, comments, thoughts on TID number 11?
Just that it's a really good thing, I believe. That's going to help a lot, as Mr. Wilkham said.
I'm delighted that all of a sudden we have what appears to be serious momentum. I know, I haven't been watching the teapot boil behind the scenes of the staff windows, but so there's probably a lot of advanced work to be done. But it's very exciting to see the two entry buildings about to break ground. And the interesting project on the west side of Janesville Avenue. I'm curious about, as a trail advocate, I'm really excited that Allen Creek Trail has been mentioned with a fairly high profile in there. I think it would be a huge addition to the amenities of the city and become part of what the city's known for, just like the river trail is. I'm curious about something. On the aerial, actually, you can see this easier on the ground. Space Saver's got a big building west of Janesville Avenue. South of Space Saver, there's a big open field, but it's got a big communications relay tower. Well, it turns out that there are buried utility markers, and the corridor is actually visible there on the aerial. It runs from north-northwest to south-southeast through that tower, through the park, and off to the southeast, and it continues well outside the city. Question is development of buildings on top of that prohibited because of the buried utilities? And it's sort of a leading question, like most of mine are. If you can't build buildings on it, could it be something park-like to benefit the business park, to benefit residents? I know we think of Clement Business Park as just an office and business place, but with a swath of perhaps undevelopable land going through there, I'm curious.
Yeah, that's definitely something we can look into. Generally, with those types of easements, you're correct, their buildings cannot be built on them. Whether or not they would be willing to allow us to build a trail would remain to be seen. We would have to reach out to them and ask some questions.
And presumably it's owned by private individuals or private corporations like Space Saver. So all those questions are future questions, but it's an observation of an opportunity.
Thank you. Additional discussion by the Plan Commission relating to the creation of TID number 11. Okay, if there isn't any, I would entertain a motion to adopt the resolution recommending adoption of the project plan and boundaries for tax increment district number 11 in the city of Fort Atkinson, Jefferson County, Wisconsin.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Thank you. Okay, item 3F is review and possible action relating to a special area design review for paint at Hein Law Office located at 101 South Main Street. Yeah, well, as everybody can see, we have no Jed here tonight, unfortunately. So I will be presenting these items for the Plan Commission, for Plan Commission's review. Okay, so starting with this is 101 South Main Street. It's the Hein Law Office building. This is located in the downtown historic mixed-use zoning district. The applicant is seeking to paint the exterior of the structure surrounding the storefront area with two different shades of tan. You can see those in the upper left corner. We have the it's studio tan and virtual tan, I believe, or taupe. Anyway, okay, so this is a design alteration. That's one of the 3 special area design reviews. This design alteration does require approval of the Plan Commission. As you can see in the staff report, the design theme and design standards have been met for this project. No public notice is required for the project, and staff does believe the proposal is in concert with the comprehensive plan. So the Historic Preservation Commission, or HPC, reviews all of these and provides the Plan Commission some direction often when it comes to historic buildings. So the HPC did review this at their meeting in June and found that the color swatches are appropriate and they did not have concerns with the project. And again, it's kind of hard to see with the black and white photos, but it really is just those, the storefront windows are not being painted or changed. It's really just the paint on those already painted sides of the building. Let's see. So staff does recommend approval of the design alteration for 101 South Main Street, subject to any recommendations from the Plan Commission. And with that, I would open up the discussion by the Plan Commission. If you have questions of staff, or if you have thoughts or comments on the project.
Just comments that I love this agenda today, that we have 3 Main Street exterior improvements. And I think this is going to be a good one.
Thank you.
I want to say I really like the appearance of the building, and I walked Main Street today to familiarize myself with facades for the next item on the agenda. And it was nice in the sun to walk under a full facade front awning over on another property. Awnings, yes.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no additional discussion, I would entertain a motion to approve the special area design review for paint at Hein Law Office located at 101 South Main Street.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Final discussion by the Plan Commission. Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the review and possible action relating to the special area design review for Patty Shack located at 201 South Main Street. This is a special area design review 2026-04. This property is located at 201 South Main Street, near the corner of South Main Street and South Water Street. This is in the downtown historic mixed use zoning district. The applicant is seeking to reconfigure the existing storefront to include removing existing arch structure and bringing the existing windows and glass door to be even with the front facade versus being recessed as it is today. Additionally, the proposed new storefront includes aluminum framing and completely screened windows there. Again, this is a design alteration and requires approval of the Plan Commission. The design standards are included in the Plan Commission packet in the staff report. One item of note that our ordinance does indicate that dark frames shall be used to replace storefronts and upper story windows. So those clear aluminum frames are proposed. Again, no public notice is required for the special area design review and action, and staff does believe the proposal is in concert with the comprehensive plan. So the applicant indicated that the proposed alterations are necessary to accommodate the additional golf simulator in that this area and this area inside the building is the only feasible location for its installation. So importantly, the simulator itself is not a permanent fixture, and the proposed storefront will remain intact and could readily function as an entrance again in the future should the space inside be reconfigured. The Historic Preservation Commission acknowledged that the removal of the existing storefront is not ideal. However, HPC appreciated that the proposal includes the installation of a replacement storefront rather than permanently eliminating that storefront altogether. Staff and the Historic Preservation Commission noted that the material and the finish are not consistent with the zoning ordinance or the historic character of the building. So the applicant did explain that the aluminum finish was selected to maintain a cohesive appearance with the existing storefront framing used elsewhere on the Patty Shack building. So you can kind of see on the left side of where Zach's cursor is that is aluminum framing on north of this. So HPC did recognize this, and they were willing to basically put it up to the Plan Commission, whether the Plan Commission wants to have a dark bronze or black frame or this aluminum frame. And the applicant, the owners of Patty Shack, indicated that they would be willing to do either as well. And I just will also note that those advertisements for the golf simulator shown on those submitted building renderings, those window decals are not part of this application. So they're not, they're on there as part of the rendering, but they're not part of this application. So city staff recommends approval of the proposed design alteration with the following conditions: that the Plan Commission require the applicant to utilize the black or dark bronze window and door frames and any other conditions by the Plan Commission. And with that, I would be happy to answer questions or start the discussion by the Plan Commission.
Well, from this picture, when I started prepping for this meeting, I just thought it was odd that there's a door that's dictating to use the other door. And so I reached out to the building owners and I asked them if this was their original idea, and they said it was not. And so I asked him to email me a rendering of what their proposed original idea was, and it is far more attractive than this. And the door on the inside, 16 inches in, will be plywood. So this this rendering will cost the business owner $6,000 to $8,000 more than his original. So I'm a little concerned that this has been a long process for them. And these are kind of the things that give us a bad reputation of not being business friendly. So I don't know if I can send you the original picture that you could put up for the Plan Commission to see.
I don't believe we have that capability right now because it's
Okay.
connected to the other computer. It's not connected to my computer.
So the the things that the business owners, any business owner has to be concerned with is the efficiency, the economics of it, how to best use the space that they own. And not having a doorway there, this property 201 and 203 has operated as a single business inside for 20 plus years. So I guess this to me does not preserve our beauty in our downtown compared to what they first proposed and recommended. So I would be more interested in pursuing and approving the first round versus this one.
So that's not on the agenda tonight, that version. This version meets the city's historic preservation aspects of our zoning ordinance. Whereas I assume the other version did not. I don't think I've seen the other version. I believe staff worked with the building owner to ensure that the project met the codes as individuals who do purchase buildings in a city's downtown in a historic, well-known and longstanding historic district. I mean, have traditionally understood that there's ordinances that govern, that dictate what they can do with those buildings.
The other consideration too is that he was told by the building inspector that tinted windows aren't in our ordinance, which I know they're not. But across the street, we have first floor tinted buildings. Excuse me. I move that we table this for the next plan commission meeting. So those other plans can be brought forward and considered.
I have other questions,
We
perhaps
have a motion on the
before.
floor, though.
I see.
Yeah, is there a second to table the item?
Interesting.
Okay, without a second, that motion fails.
Mhm.
Okay, is there additional discussion on this matter?
Yes, Peggy, I'm open to tabling, but I think that other things need to be on the table. First of all, some simple clarification questions. Rebecca, you said that the ad graphics that are in the rendering were not part of the application. I would want to be very sure that nothing like that ever appears on a downtown building. I think it's completely out of character with the downtown. It's an advertisement. An advertisement like that might be okay on a sandwich board sign, but not on a facade. So that's just a strong reaction I had. At first, I was wondering uh, about the clear aluminum finish. And it wasn't until I walked Main Street I realized that there's a lot of buildings that incorporate clear aluminum finish.
Mhm.
Not to say that that's a good direction, but I think one of the minor decisions before us is whether to urge the applicant to put a brown or black finish in it, as opposed to the photo visualizations clear aluminum finish. I think it's well worth considering gradually transitioning downtown back away from clear aluminum. I think it's is inappropriate. So this is a tiny little step in that direction. Yes, it would not match the storefront to the left, but it's just a minor step in the right direction. I understand that the impetus for this application is because there's going to be a big piece of equipment to enhance the value of the business. The golf simulator, that is the business,
Mhm.
plus entertainment and eats.
Mhm.
I totally get that. There's a functioning entrance to the left that actually looks very good. So I'm thinking two things. One is if that building were ever subdivided back into two separate businesses, I would like to see a good looking storefront put back, storefront entrance put back in place. I don't know if that's a condition that gets put on the current owner or it would be a condition of approval of such a future action by a subdivision of the building. So that's a curiosity question.
Well, I will just note that they are two separate parcels. So while they do function as one business, those are two separate parcel numbers and currently.
As a pedestrian advocate and sometime pedestrian designer in my career, I like to see interest as you walk down the street. And I would hope that the applicant could come up with something that uh, engages people's curiosity and interest about the business in a better way than the rendering. I don't think the rendering does the concept justice. So I would be curious to see what Peggy has seen. And I think that they can do better. One thing that I've seen done when you don't have an entrance, but you want there to be interest there, to have some sort of a backdrop indented into the facade, like a screen or something like that, and interesting things in between. I think we have examples of that elsewhere in Fort. So just something a little bit better to show off the business.
Additional discussion by the Plan Commission.
The other thing that they're working with here too is that in our ordinance, any first floor windows you have to be able to see through them. And the efficient use of the space within this building is that it will be plywood against those windows. So then they're going to have to do something interesting through clear glass, which is going to require maintenance and access and all of those things, which is, again, another expense that we're putting on a business owner that has brought a lot of value to all three of these are bringing value to our main street. And I can't bring the motion again because I didn't get a second.
Well, the plan commission could certainly not take action on this item if that was, if there's not a requirement to take action on it.
Okay.
This is a process question. I don't want to hold up the applicant. I think they're doing great things for the city. I think we're close to something here, but I don't think that I can support it right now, except in the very minor points about metal color. So I'm not sure what our options are at this point as the commission.
This is the time that I unfortunately need to leave this meeting, so I would be in favor of taking no action on this at the moment.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I think our options as far as process are either taking action on the agenda item as submitted by the applicant and as proposed, or taking no action on the item. And if we take no action, we do not need a motion as such. It would not be a motion not to take action on the item.
If we take no action, what happens next?
We would have staff reach out to the applicant and continue the conversations. We can take a look at the initial rendering. However, if it does not meet the city's ordinance, I'm not sure if we could move forward with that.
I've already stated my preference on one minor item, which is the metal color, and that's I would hope that would be carried back to applicant and staff communication.
Yes, that would. Okay, I will call for a motion to approve the special area design review as proposed. And if there is none, we will move on to the next agenda item.
So moved. I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second? All right, hearing none, that motion fails. We will move on to item 3H, and that is review and possible action relating to a special area design review for the State Farm Insurance located at 103 South Main Street. Let's see. So this is 103 South Main Street. The property is located near the corner of South Main Street and South Water Street, where a vacant storefront was formerly located. This is again in our downtown historic mixed-use zoning district. The applicant is seeking to paint the entire exterior of the structure outside the storefront base of the building. The storefronts also proposed to be reconfigured with the removal of the centralized door, and two side windows to be replaced by three central window panes and a glass door. Stone veneer is proposed to surround the new storefront. The windows on either side and the existing awning is proposed to be removed with gooseneck lighting fixtures and signage in its place. The middle metal band on the building is proposed to be repainted. So again, this is a design alteration, and the Plan Commission review is required for design alterations. It's details relating to the standards met in the staff report. We will note that the colors are unknown at this point, so that would be one of the conditions of approval is submitting those colors for review. No public hearing is required for a special area design review, and staff believes that the proposal is in concert with the comprehensive plan. The proposed project includes several facade improvements, including repainting the building, removal of the existing awning, installation of new lighting, and reconfiguring the storefront. While the proposed plans represent a significant enhancement to the building's appearance, questions were raised regarding whether certain design elements are consistent with the historic character of the structure. During its review, the Historic Preservation Commission noted that the stone veneer base was not reflective of the building's historic architecture features and expressed concern that the proposed paint colors should be more consistent with the period and character of the structure. So following the HPC meeting on June 9th, city staff contacted the applicant to discuss the comments. In response, the applicant agreed to provide the specific paint colors proposed for the project and revise the design by replacing the stone veneer with black aluminum metal panels that will match the existing storefront framing. So the existing building facade is in need of improvement. I think we can all agree on that. And while the city's design standards generally discourage the painting of brick masonry, the building is already painted and does require maintenance and repainting. So the applicant would be removing that existing paint and restoring the original brick, the applicant indicated that removing the existing paint and restoring that original brick facade would be cost prohibitive. So city staff does recommend the Plan Commission approve the proposed design alteration, including the following conditions. Require the applicant to provide period appropriate paint swatches for the proposed painting. Require the applicant to utilize masonry, stone, or brick on the base structure surrounding the reconfigured storefront, and any other recommendations by the Plan Commission.
Would you like to provide the applicant an opportunity to speak at this time?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. If you want to state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Nate Yan. I'm with Danton Construction. I'm the applicant. I'm representing the State Farm Insurance agent, Andy Ayers, who's the owner of that building there. I just wanted to clarify one thing. I know you noted it, but these two small, I call them jams on each side of the storefront there. That was one of the concerns that the Historical Review Committee had. They did not want the stone veneer. And back and forth emails with them, we had, and you had mentioned it, but we had suggested instead of using a stone veneer, we would just wrap it with aluminum storefront so that it would tie in with the new storefront system going in. So it all essentially be the same system. And they were happy with that suggestion, but for some reason I have another rendering that shows that instead of the stone veneer, but
Okay.
I know they mentioned it in the notes, but I just thought for clarification purposes, I would state that.
I appreciate that. So that is the where it says nailed stone veneer, that would actually just be,
Yeah, so that is right here where it says nailed stone above. That's an existing door there that goes to the apartments. And there's a brick currently right there. So that really the only areas where there's stone veneer that we initially called out as stone veneer are these two vertical jams on each side of the storefront. And instead of the stone veneer, we're just going to continue the storefront. So it just wrap. Right now, currently, the old building owners used like a ceramic floor tile. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this building, but yeah. And what's happened over time, kind of hard to see it, but especially down, I mean, it just hasn't weathered well at all in an aluminum product, just like your storefront would solve all of those exterior longevity issues. So the historic committee was happy with that suggestion. And I know they made the note about it, but they didn't use the new rendering, but that was the intent, and to wrap it all, so it'll all be the same, essentially the same system.
okay, thank you.
Yep. And the other note that they had was painting the brick above. Initially, they had asked if we would use some sort of like a mechanical abrasion system to get rid of the old paint, sandblasting, or there's a few other methods. But in this case here, it just needed cleaned up and repainted, and they were, again, okay with that suggestion as well.
Okay, and are those the colors and the
Yeah, and the updated rendering has those colors on, but it's basically like just neutral, like pale tan colors. There's, but I could email you that. I could email a copy of that new one if that would be helpful. Very similar to the law office one that we looked at earlier, kind of like taupe or tan colors.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Additional discussion by the Plan Commission.
It is a great design. It's going to look very good there. Mhm.
Okay, hearing no additional discussion, I would entertain a motion to approve the special area design review for the property located at 103 South Main, subject to the conditions included in the staff report.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any final discussion?
Do we need to update the recommendation? Number 2 on page. It's towards the end where it says city staff recommends approval.
Sure, require the applicant to utilize the masonry, stone, or brick on the structure.
Yep. Can we
Yeah.
update
Yeah,
that to
we
be the
can.
metal?
If you find this a friendly amendment, we can certainly say require the applicant to wrap the storefront with the dark aluminum. Commissioner Ciccarelli, does that work for you?
It does. The bullet 2 currently says base of the structure. I'm not sure if that refers to the very base near the ground or the first story. So make sure that the reword is clear to that.
Okay. So if you will you come back up for just a second to clarify for us?
Yeah.
So the base, do you want to go back to the picture, Zach? The base is on the existing is brick, and you had mentioned that that is failing.
It's currently not brick. It's like ceramic floor tile.
Oh, okay, okay,
That they just had cemented onto the side of the building.
okay. So it
There
is,
is it's hard to see there because there is existing, stone there, but the jambs themselves are like a ceramic tile.
okay.
Yeah.
So the base, if you can see, go to the next one, if you would there. The windows, that storefront go all the way to the
Right,
ground
yep.
then.
Yep.
And so then this, the masonry, stone, or brick condition in the staff report, where actually those columns will be wrapped aluminum.
Wrapped in aluminum.
Okay.
Yep.
So there is no masonry, stone, or brick at the base.
No.
It would just be the wrapped
It'll be
aluminum.
wrapped. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so is that a friendly amendment, Commissioner Ciccarelli?
It is.
Okay, is that a friendly amendment, Commissioner Schultz?
Yes.
Courtney, do you have what you need? Okay, okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the amended recommendation, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries.
Process question.
Yes.
On the patty shack, I noted earlier and failed to bring them up, 2 typos in the packet.
Okay.
What's the appropriate way to?
Typos in the Patty Shack staff report?
Number 1 was it said corner of Water Street. That was true for the first one, but not they're actually
Oh.
in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And then there was a met that should have been not met in the building and zoning checklist.
Okay.
I think we've actually covered that in substance, though.
Okay. We will, when and if this matter comes back before the Plan Commission, we will double check that staff report and make sure that those have been addressed. Okay. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is just an update from the last Plan Commission meeting. And I will just provide 2 things. One, the CSM for 312 South 4th Street has not yet been approved by the City Council. There was an issue in locating and televising the storm sewer to identify that easement area before that moves forward to the City Council. So that has not yet been approved. The other certified survey maps from the Plan Commission's last agenda were approved by the City Council. And then I will just also update the Clement Business Park spec buildings on lots 12 and 13. The groundbreaking will now be on the 30th of June at 10 a.m. on site. Okay, and with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned at 4:59 PM. Thank you.